gosh, do I still even remember how to make a teaser? Hi, welcome back to the first video in a long time. I have to apologize for not having posted in basically like the past month. The long story is the short story. College is incredibly busy and stressful, so I just have not found the time to really record, and even when I have had the time, I've just decided that it's better to spend it sleeping in my bed because, let's face it, sleep is always underrated. As further proof of how underrated sleep is and how much my body has decided it would be better for me to spend this Thanksgiving break in bed, I was originally planning to film this during the daytime, but you'll notice that the lights are on because it is nighttime, and in fact it is almost midnight as I'm filming this. So I wanted to start off and jump right into today's video with a history lesson. Now, you're probably thinking, ugh, a history lesson? Why? But just hear me out. So, in 1973, a bank robbery occurred in Stockholm, Sweden, in this bank in this square called hold on, I'm gonna completely butcher this. Norrmalmstorg. What I just said there. So basically, a robbery occurred at a bank in this square in Stockholm, and 4 people were taken hostage. And now, before you start thinking, oh my gosh, he's gonna talk about a conspiracy, first of all, no, you don't know me at all. My imagination is not wild enough yet to where I can come up with this whole conspiracy. No. Everything I'm gonna be saying here is based in fact, and as the video goes on, I'll insert my own opinion, not necessarily into this story. 4 people were taken hostage, and at the end of the standoff between the captors and the police, they found that the hostages had basically become so dependent on the captors that they didn't hate them and instead didn't even want to testify against them in court. And so, in short, this story basically spawned the psychological symptom we now call Stockholm Syndrome. Essentially, what I'm about to say is going to sound really wild, but just bear with me because this is midnight right now, and I've also just been spending this whole week sort of stewing this idea in my mind. So I know it's gonna sound wild, because it is. Now, these past few days have been Thanksgiving break, and as a result, basically all of my friends have gone back home, and I've been stuck here on this eerily quiet college campus with a few other people, but it just got me thinking how dependent I've become on college and on everything that it provides me. What if being a college student is like sort of having like Stockholm Syndrome with the college being your captor? And I know that sounds completely wild, and it is, but hear me out real quick. When I came to college, I thought, oh, like, it's so nice to be able to come to a new environment and get away from home. But everything that I've done in college has become so dependent on what the college has offered. We go to the dining halls for food because that's the cheapest thing. I mean, we've already paid for it, and that's what the college provides, so we do that. Even if we do get food, it's always at the places just around campus. I mean, our job opportunities, our internship opportunities, everything we do on the weekends is all connected to college. College provides us with football games or concerts or other events that we can go to on campus and not have to go elsewhere in order to experience. But at the same time, college also stresses us out to the point where sometimes we're just spending our weekends catching up on work to make sure we're all caught up for the next week, and then that cycle repeats over and over again. College has sort of held college students captive in a certain sense, and if you're like me and you spent this Thanksgiving break on college instead of back home because you're from far away, it sort of enforces that sense of dependency on the college environment. And don't get me wrong, I love college, but these past few days have made me realize how much I miss being home and the familiarity and, in a sense, even the freedom that being home had that I don't have now. Like, I think back in high school, you know, on the weekends, sometimes you had the opportunity to go and have fun with friends and do whatever. And because you were familiar with the place, because it was home, you could just freely go out and explore. And in college, that's harder to do. You're not as familiar with things. Going to different places and coordinating that transportation is so different. Like, back home, I could just get in the car and drive with friends, but I don't have a car in college. I'm relying on public transportation, and that requires a lot of figuring out because I'm not familiar with the public transportation here either. So, in a sense, I think the familiarity of home, of that home environment, really gives you a freedom that college doesn't necessarily give you as much. But I also think that these past few days have given me a nice opportunity to reconnect with my family back home and reconnect with friends from back home and talk to them, because sometimes I haven't had the time to do that in a while, and it makes me realize how much I miss my family and how grateful that I am for their support, and how grateful I am for the support of my friends from back home, and how crucial that support was in getting me to college and getting me to this place in the first point. While college has really given me so much to do that I really didn't have time at first to sit back and think about that, these past few days have really brought that into light. If you're lucky enough to have the opportunity to be spending this Thanksgiving break at home and to have spent it, you know, with friends, with family, do remember to thank them and tell them how grateful you are for their support, because it's never the same when you do it in person. It's always so much better. So yeah, that was it for this week's wild stream of consciousness video. I mean, what? I went from Stockholm Syndrome to basically college sort of being like Stockholm Syndrome and yet not really being like Stockholm Syndrome, to Thanksgiving, and how college has made me realize how grateful I am for the support of family and old friends and new friends too. Are any of those jumps in any way logical? I don't know. You decide for yourself. But yeah, there you go. It's my first YouTube video in a long time. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these mind-warping logical conclusions in any way amusing, feel free to please like and subscribe in the subscription box. And yeah, I'll see you in well, not necessarily next week, because I'll maybe be busy in the next few weeks again, but hopefully I'll make time. But if I don't see you next week, I will definitely see you in the next video, which hopefully will be coming out soon. So see you then. Thank you so much again for watching.